Hi, this is Mitch Randall at Montreat, North Carolina, and joining me today is Senior Pastor at Wilshire Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas, Reverend Timothy Peoples. Timothy, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Timothy, it's been a great week here at OASIS. The theme of this year's conference was roots. And as you know, there's a lot going on in the country right now, and it seems like there's a lot of instability and anxiousness that people are carrying around.
Yeah.
So how does this metaphor of roots help us deal with the anxiety that the culture is suffering from right now?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. And I think one way that we look at this of being rooted and grounded, as the scripture says, in love, but also following that up with justice and mercy and humility and really action. One of the things that we talked about is, prayer doesn't mean that we just sit and wait, but it causes us to act and move and to do. And that is what we as a church, as we as ministers, as we as people have to be actively engaged in the world, being Christ, the agents of Christ, doing the things, being rooted in Him. And I think that is so important for our ministers and our churches to be doing.
In one of the presentations over the week, you mentioned, you used the analogy of a palm tree. And I think right now, people feel very isolated with what's going on in the country. And sometimes it can feel like you're very alone, especially in states that are supportive of the policies of this current administration. So tell us a little bit more about that palm tree and why it's so important in its root system.
Yes. So the palm trees are so fascinating that their roots are not just vertical down, straight down into the ground, but actually go about 3 feet into the ground and grow horizontally. And a palm tree by itself is, just alone. But when they are grown next to each other, the roots are intertwined together, which creates this stability of this underground network of holding each other so that when the monsoons and the tsunamis and the hurricanes come, they can lay flat to the ground and stand right back up, holding each other together. And I think that is so important for us today, reminding ourselves that we have to be intertwined in a root system together, that we are not alone in this work, that we are doing this justice work together faithfully. In that.
It was a great analogy.
What?
So really, really well done. So the last question I have for you is that we have been with a bunch of ministers, children's ministers, youth ministers, and collegiate ministers. Just being among them this week, you can get a sense of the weariness that a lot of them are carrying, because ministers, not only are they experiencing what everybody else is experiencing, but they are also bear the calling of taking care of the flock.
Yeah.
So as a minister yourself, give us some advice, give ministers some advice on how to deal with their own spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional health.
Yeah. This was something very interesting to see, because in my own congregation, for a lot of things that we are dealing with, that we are at detention centers and holding vigils, we are doing court observations and a lot of this, and not every church gets to do that, and not every minister gets to be a part of that, and their souls are aching, and how do they take care of themselves? How do they get to be able to fight these justice works? And so one of the things that I have noticed about what is happening at OASIS is that it's giving each other strength to be able to be weary together, but also to share their laments, but also to encourage, encourage each other in that, and how to build each other up. And this is the beauty of being in a network of people, right? Again, we're not alone. And so being able to hold each other together as they are holding their flock and their people together too. And so it's we lift each other up, right? We're intertwined in that network and that root system.
Well, on behalf of Good Faith Media and the larger progressive Christian world, we want to thank you and Wilshire Baptist Church for the prophetic work you're doing in Dallas and the ministry that you're doing to that community.
Thank you so much, Mitch.
And thanks for joining us today.